Hi, so welcome to this episode of the Pro-Age Woman Summit 2023, Real Women Aging Unapologetically. Today, our guest is Dr. Stephanie Buehler. I'm going to read about her amazing work in sex therapy and education. She's a licensed psychologist, an AASECT certified sex therapist, and supervisor. She's also a fellow of the International Society for the Study of Women's Sexual Health. Dr. Buehler specializes in women's sexual health, chronic illness, and cancer, sexuality, sexual pain disorders, and mental health. She is author of several books, including a bestseller textbook, What Every Mental Health Professional Needs to Know About Sex, and a book for anyone who wants to improve their sex life entitled Enliven Your Sex Life. Don't Settle for Boring Sex. Dr. Buehler also created the Buehler Institute of LearnSexTherapy.com to provide continuing education in sex therapy for psychotherapists and sexual counselors for the healthcare or sexual counseling for healthcare providers. Dr. Buehler has spoken to lay and professional audiences around the globe and is frequently quoted in the media, most recently in The Atlantic, Men's Health, Business Insider, and HealthCentral.com. So Dr. Buehler, welcome to the summit. I know you have a lot to share, and your title, which is a great one, is called Putting the Heat Back in Sizzle. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here and I'm excited about this event.
Yes. So there are a few questions that all of us, women 50 plus, probably 30, 40, 20 plus, really want to know. So it's kind of ageless question, but first question, what tips can you share for women whose sexual desire seems to be MIA?
Yeah, so I think, that is the most common issue that comes into the sex therapist's office, low desire. Now, it can be, sometimes men have low desire, and that's a whole other topic, but we're focused on women today. And, for women, it can be distressing not to feel desire any longer. It's something that you used to feel, now it seems to be gone and you don't know what to do. You don't know how to get it back. Well, the first thing is, especially being 50 plus, is to talk to a medical doctor and get issues ruled out. We want to make sure that your hormones are balanced, that you don't have any thyroid problems, that there isn't something else going on. So that would be absolutely my first tip. The second thing, though, is desire has to do with what you want, what you need. And, after maybe years of putting aside your wants and your needs, it can be difficult to try to identify what is it? What is going on with me that I'm not feeling any desire? I think that women especially need to take time to reflect about their life, not just sex, not just what's going on in the bedroom, but about their life as well. What are things that they don't want in their life that they want to let go of, that they don't want to do anymore? I've heard it. I've worked with so many women who, at some point in the therapy with me will say, you know what, this is my time. Especially being over 50, it's like, I raise the kids, I help my partner with their career, I'm taking care of my parents, I'm like, it's me, I need to take care of me and what I want. And I think that's one of the good things about being a bit older is that you can start being a bit selfish.
Love it.
Earned it. You earned the right to be a bit selfish. And if you're like, what, like we're doing this, we just got through the holidays, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm sure there are women who said, oh my God, I did this, I did that. I'm done with that. And that's
Yeah.
okay. Let go of what's not working for you
Mhm.
and telling people, and you'll start to have more energy. So that is tip number one. Do what you need to do to have energy for the things that you want to do, the things that you enjoy. The other
Beautifully said. Mhm.
the
Yeah.
other thing too is I think that women may, and this is not going to apply to every woman, but I would pay attention and tune in and see if you perhaps have little flickers of desire, little whispers of desire, either something going on in your body, or you watched an episode of Bridgerton and
Mhm.
it got
Mhm.
you a little aroused. I mean, what is going on? And when you have those flickers, what are you doing? Are you just pushing them down, pushing them away? And sometimes people think that as they get older, like feeling sexual, wanting to have sex is kind of gross, even, like,
Mhm.
uh, you're supposed to be done with that, or,
Gosh.
all kinds of
Yeah.
things that can be getting in the way. So are the thoughts getting in the way of those flickers and allowing them to grow? So it's something to pay attention to.
Mhm. Mhm.
And if I may, also your relationship health. What is going on with your relationship? Is it working? Is it, are you and your partner having fun? As women are hitting their 50s, of course, women are having children at older ages now. So you may still in your 50s have teenagers at home, but that can mean that you're getting ready to launch them into the world. And at this point, I know a lot of women are thinking, what is our marriage or our relationship look like as this change is happening in our lives? And I think this is a good time to, kind of figure out what needs to happen in your relationship to strengthen it and to make it feel more emotionally satisfying and emotionally intimate. So,
Mm. So
right?
you're doing like a reset. You're reassessing and you're resetting and making a new step forward that you may not have thought about before, or giving yourself the permission to.
Right. And to say, you know what, if this is my time, then what do I need now from my relationship? We change all the time, especially women. We went through a big change with puberty. Well, if we have children, we go through a big change then. We go through another change with menopause. So
Mhm.
our sexuality is changing, and what we want and need is changing. And, if you're so busy that you can't make time to reflect, then you might not recognize what it is that you need. So maybe,
Beautiful.
yes, keep a journal, have a friend that you can talk with. Maybe you want to have a few sessions with a therapist to try and figure out what is going on with me now, this
So
state.
how can sex, oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
What do I need now? What do I
Mm.
want now? Desire is more than just sex.
Okay. Yes, it is. And that's something that I think women were never supported, not saying bad or good, just not supported to explore that in a safe way. Regarding changes, how can sex be more pleasurable for women as they navigate through menopause?
So that is a really good question. The fact is that bodies are changing as we go through menopause, and there can be a lot going on. There can be mood changes, there can be fatigue, not getting good night's sleep, all of those things happening. And that's why it's really important to take good care of yourself, and tune into your body, do what it is that you need to do to take care of yourself. So
Mhm.
that's one. But the other is that because of hormonal changes and frankly, changes in the brain, that sensation is not the same as it once was. So think like your breasts may not be as sensitive, your genitals may not be as sensitive. So you may need more foreplay and more direct stimulation in order to feel this, what you felt when you were younger. And for a lot of women, this is when they decide it's time to get a toy.
Okay, better late than
It's
never.
time. Yes, right. You know, like it's taking longer to have an orgasm. It's taking longer to just get aroused, and toys can be so helpful. So I think that you know, telling your partner that you want to explore using a toy, maybe you want to use it by yourself first, and then let your partner know that you want to introduce a toy, let your partner know that they can't be replaced by a toy.
Right.
And and I think you know, using toys and more foreplay,
Mm.
and also, you know, just exploring your body. Maybe other things feel better now than they did. You know,
Mhm.
what has changed in your body?
Right. And if there is no children in the house, there is more time. The pressure to engage with your partner, if it's a male female partner, is there's more freedom. So
Right,
that
exactly.
offers. Yeah.
Yes, right. Mhm.
How can a woman communicate better with her partner about her changing needs?
I think, you know, you hear me keep saying, you know, what do you
Yeah.
want? What do
Yeah.
you want? But I think that's part of it, is identifying what you want. And, you know, that can just be, you know, taking a long bath or a walk or reading. You know, they still write romantic novels, you know, just like seeing what it is that you want now in
Mhm.
terms of romance, connection, and
Mhm.
sex. What do you want now? And if you really don't know, you can communicate that with your partner as well. You can say, you know what, I think I want to change things up, but I'm not sure how. And are you willing to explore some things with me? Most partners are going to say, sure.
How beautiful. So they're going through this journey of change together and
Together with
exploring new
you.
avenues, again, with maybe more free time that they have on their in their space.
Right? Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Mhm.
But I think, you know, scheduling, knowing what it is that you want, um, scheduling some time, just like you would with anything else that is important, because your sex life is as important as your finances or what's going on with mom, or, you know, making decisions about the house. Just as important, make some time, say, you know what, can we sit down with a cup of coffee on Saturday morning, or, you know, and I have something that I want to talk about. And if your partner says, what is it? You can say, you know what, something fun. It's something that I think will be fun.
Yeah.
Um, and then, you know, come prepared to tell your partner what it is that you want. And you know, do say I, use a lot of like I language. I need, I want, I would like to, you know, so
Mhm.
that your partner doesn't feel defensive.
Mhm.
And then ask your partner, have things changed for them? You know,
Right. Of
and whether
course.
the
And
partner
they
is
do.
male or female or non-binary, however they identify, you know, it's very likely that if they think about it, maybe they want things to be changed up too. Mhm.
We are an evolving human, right, human person. We're not the same, and nor should we want to be the same as when we were, 30 years ago. It's evolvement, depth. I love that
Yes,
that you bring your partner with you in the change,
yes,
in the
yes,
exploration.
yes, right. This can be a really kind of funny. The word that comes to, for me is fruitful. A fruitful time in your sex life. You know, you're not. It's not about making babies or preventing babies or family planning or any of that. It's
Mhm.
really about pleasure, really, and
Mhm.
enjoy. It's a time
Yeah,
for enjoyment.
it's time for enjoyment. I love that. It's the pleasure that now one has the opportunity to explore. Yeah, and with your
Mhm.
partner, which is
Right.
amazing.
Yep.
So one more question for you is what role does mood play with sexuality and relationships? And how can women improve their mood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, women have more of a tendency to become depressed, and there are all kinds of reasons for that. And of course, if you feel depressed or anxious or both, that can really interfere with your desire to be sexual with somebody else. When we're depressed or anxious, many of us tend to withdraw and to go within. But I think that there are social forces as well, as women get older, that we need to be aware of and think about. I know I'm going to speak about myself for a moment.
Mhm.
When I was young, I was a hot number and I still think I look fine, but I was really a hot number, like really hot. And when
Love it.
I hit about, somewhere in my 40s, I went, well, this stinks. I mean,
Mhm.
people aren't opening the door for me. That
Mhm.
the car isn't stopping so that the person can watch me cross. So things change. And I know women complain about becoming invisible. You are not invisible. It is
Mhm.
our culture.
Mhm.
It is very interesting that there is research that shows that women in other cultures, for example, in Japan or China, do not experience menopause in the same way that women in the West and in the States experience it. Because aging is revered, because the older woman is revered in those cultures, they don't experience menopause in the same way of feeling invisible, feeling down on yourself, worried about, crow's feet, aging, all of
Yeah.
those things,
Mhm.
not in the same way. And so we have to be proud of ourselves for getting to this age, getting to this place, proud of what we have accomplished, and excitement for what is ahead. Not to just like roll over and go like, oh, I'm old and now I'm invisible and nobody's going to care about me and nobody wants me and everything is starting to sag. And hey,
Mhm.
you know what? Don't focus on that.
Mhm.
Focus on reverence for yourself,
Mhm.
reverence for yourself at this
Right.
stage,
Right.
and
And
carry yourself with reverence at this stage. And I think it will help your mood and it will help your drive.
right, because when one feels, we don't have to be like running around super positive about ourselves every moment, but when we acknowledge the beauty the life that we've led, the choices we've made in our lovers, in our careers, in if we had children, how we raised them, there are always many, many things in our healthy, wealthy lifestyle. I mean, to live to 50 plus is a gift. And so our ability to acknowledge what we've done and what we can still do, right? There are so many women that are now, I'm hearing more women in their 50s taking on different life paths, different careers, expanding. So yes, focusing on the positive and not choosing to remain in that cultural shroud of, well, you're just old, so why don't we just put you in a rocking chair?
Oh my goodness.
So depressing.
Right? That is depressing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
don't buy into that. And that was so well stated. Yeah. Don't put yourself in that rocking chair.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So there is probably 1,000 more questions to ask you, but I know that you are you're going to be offering a gift of one of your chapters. You've written so many amazing books. I hope people will run to get your book that I mentioned, which was Enliven Your Sex Life. Don't settle for boring sex. I think you probably have total amount of great information for them to get to read, and that will be on
Yes,
Amazon.
there is. There's a lot of good information. And if you
Yeah.
feel stuck with your sex life or a lot of the people I saw in my practice, of course, were very, kind of naive about sex, and so, we don't get good sex education. So there's a lot of good information in there that maybe you never got, maybe you haven't read anywhere.
Right.
So, yeah,
Very good. So a place for that for a woman 50 plus to really study sex, study and learn about, experiment, see what feels good for you. I love your advice, Stephanie. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we close our short yet very inspiring talk today?
I'm just very happy to be here. I'm very happy that this conference has sponsored a discussion about sex. So, and I appreciate you as well, Evelyn, for uh, facilitating this talk today.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie. And our members can take a look in the summit package as to the gift that you will be giving them as part of your expanding and your knowledge point. So again, thank you so much, and everybody have a wonderful afternoon. Bye.